Hi everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed your 2.5 weeks off of spring break. But now, like I've said before, we got to get our math brains back on. I know before we left for spring break and even the day of e learning, we did some things with multiplying monomials. Okay, we took some notes. I had you guys do a homework assignment. I looked at those. However, there were some mistakes. So we're going to do some reviewing because I really need to make sure that you are really good with multiplying monomials before I add in like negative exponents, before we start dividing, all of that stuff. So what I'm going to have you do today is, and you are going to submit this, so make sure that as we go through the notes today, you need to be taking the notes, doing the practice problems, because you're going to submit this in for a grade today. And it should be a really easy grade, just watching the video, doing the practice problems. All right, so let's start with some examples, and let's just make sure that we remember all these rules, because most of you did really well with the basics. It's just once we got to the harder ones, I kind of lost some of you. So let's just start super basic. All right, when we had something like 7 squared times 7 to the fourth times 5 to the second times 7 to the third times 5 to the fourth. Remember, we put the base numbers together, so that would be 7, and you add the exponents, 2 and 2, 4, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7 to the ninth times 5 to the sixth. And we talked, like, if the exponent is too high, like, you don't need to multiply that out. All right, if we have one like this, negative 7x squared times 2x to the third times x to the fifth. Remember, we multiply the numbers. So negative 7 times 2, and technically there's a 1 in front of the x to the fifth, so negative 14 x to the, add your exponents, x to the 10th, and done. All right, if we have one like this, negative 2x squared y squared times 3xy to the seventh. All right, so again, multiply the numbers, the coefficients in the front. Okay, so negative 2 times 3, negative 6. Then go to your x's. X to the second, and remember this is x to the first, so that would be x to the third. And then go to your y's. Okay, y to the second, y to the seventh, y to the ninth. All right, so let me have you try this one before I give you an answer to this one. Okay, ready? 1/4 x to the seventh, y to the second times negative 8 x to the second, y to the third times negative xy squared. All right, so let me give you a minute to try it. All right, so now let's take a look at this one. You should have multiplied your numbers. 1/4 times negative 8 over 1 times negative 1. So, should have had 2. Then you went to your x's, and remember, you add your exponents. 7 plus 2, 9, plus 1, x to the 10th, and then y to the 2, 3, 4, 5, y to the 7th. All right, hopefully you got that one. We are on number... All right, so now I believe 5. All right, so now we're going to switch it up, and we're going to put the exponent on the outside. 3x squared, y to the fourth, all squared. Now remember, when it's on the outside, you multiply. So what you really have here is 3 squared, x to the fourth, y to the eighth. And yes, you need to take this a step further to 9, x4, y8. Where I saw some problems, especially on the homework, was when you had a fraction, such as 2/3, x, y cubed, all squared. Remember, you have to do 2/3 squared. So 2/3 times 2/3, 4/9. X to the second, y to the sixth. Because remember, you multiply when the exponent's on the outside. All right, let me have you try this one. -2, x to the third, y to the seventh, z to the fourth, all, let's go cubed. All right, let me give you just a second or two to see, can you get that answer? All right, so here's what you should have come up with. If you need more time, just hit pause. You should have -2 cubed. So -2, -2, -2, -8, x to the 3 times 3, 9, y is 7 times 3, 21, z 4 times 3, 12. All right, so you've got to remember the different rules when it's on the outside of the parentheses or on the inside. So now, all right, number 8, we're going to put this all together. So if you have this, -2, x to the fourth, y to the third, z to the fourth, times 2x, y squared, z cubed squared. What you need to do first is this parenthesis, because you've got to take care of this squared up here. So this one turns into 2 squared, so that would be 4x squared, y to the fourth, z to the sixth, and then you just multiply it by the first. Okay, so now multiply the numbers. So -8, x to the, add the exponents, x to the sixth, y to the seventh, z to the 10th. And I would say, like, before spring break, these were the ones where some of you had trouble, is once they got a little more complicated. All right, let's try this one together, then I'll have you try one on your own. -5, x to the fourth, y to the second, z, times 3, x, y, z to the fourth squared, times -x squared, y cubed, z, all cubed. All right, so again, we've got to take care of this parenthesis first. 3 squared, 9, x squared, y squared, z to the 8th, times, now remember, this is -1 cubed, so the negative's going to stay, so -x to the 6th, y to the 9th, z to the 3rd, and then now you're ready to multiply all three together. So your final answer should be -5 times 9 times -1. That can be happening in your head. 45. X to the 4, 5, 6. X to the 12th. Y, count all your Y's. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 9. Y to the 13th. And Z, 1, 8, so 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let me have you try number 10 on your own. See what you can do. Ready? X squared, y cubed, z to the 4th, times 1/2, x squared, y cubed, z cubed, times -4, x squared, y, z to the 4th, all squared. Now, take a moment, hit pause, because I'm going to not talk through it. I'm just going to work it out while you're working it out. All right, when you're ready, check to see, does your answer agree with mine? All right, so now here's what I'm going to have you do. As part of your notes that you're going to submit, and I'm going to actually go through when you submit your notes, I'm going to actually grade these 4 problems. So, what I really need you to do is when you submit your notes, please, if you would please submit these 4 problems first, like if you would kind of put them on the front page. So you might want to like a separate sheet of paper or something so you can do these 4, because I'm going to grade these 4 and then I'm going to look at your notes. Okay, so these are the 4 that I need you to try on your own. Make sure that I can read them so that when you submit them, I can grade them. Okay, and that's pretty much for today. All you have to do for me is do these 4 problems. Because then tomorrow, once I've looked at these, you're probably going to have a homework assignment over multiplying. We may start a little bit of dividing. Let me see how today goes and what everybody turns in. And just make sure, please, like be careful with these. Take your time. Go back, look at the rules, look back at your notes. All right. So if you would please, like I said, put these 4 kind of on the front first part when you submit your notes, and then I'll take a look at them and we will do some more practice tomorrow. Bye-bye.